All right, welcome to Mudrun training, second session. We're going to be punching out a few different workouts for you here today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you had fun with the last one. I hope you're sharing with us how you're doing. We want to see, we want to know, so please make sure you let us know what's going on. All right, the first workout that we're going to get through today is a combination. You're going to do a run, just like you did the last time. Remember that interval run that you did? That's what I want you doing again. However, we need to make it a little longer. So you are going to add 2 more rounds. Remember, I ended up getting you to a moderate hard level, running at 1 minute, and then you got to bring it back down to an easy level. Well, you did that twice. Now you're going to add that 2 more times. Okay, so in total, you're going to be doing the hard, moderate run for 1 minute 4 times. So that's what I want you to add. It's going to bring your total run up to 20 minutes, gradually getting you up there. Okay, so you're going to start with that. Of course, before anything, you will start with a warm-up, right? Always got the warm-up in. Then you're going to get into the run. After you run, you're going to do your stretches, and you can, if you forget what the stretches are all about, check back to that first video and you'll find them all there for the legs. You're going to stretch them out very lightly though, because what you're getting into next is resistance training for the legs. You are going to be using those leg muscles a lot when you get into the mud run. What's the name of that one where you're climbing up the Mount Baldy? Yeah, Mount Baldy. Do you remember that? If you did it last year? Yeah. You know what? Instead of crawling up it this year, maybe this year you're going to be able to actually propel yourself up by the time the training is done. That's our goal. We want you to be as efficient as you possibly can. So with that, I'm going to bring my helper in today. Matthew, come on in. Yes, you can bring your weights. Now I am assuming Matthew has already warmed up for 5 to 10 minutes. And we are going to get straight into a leg workout. So the first one today is a side lunge. So you're going to pick up your weights. Okay. Now what Matthew is going to do is, as he sinks down into a lunge, he's going to start with his feet together. And as he sinks down, see what he's doing. His feet, his toes are pointing forward, which is perfect. Bring it back. Now same leg. Keep going as I talk about it. His back is nice and long. You might not be able to see it from this way, and I think I'm going to get you to just turn sideways, just so they can see what your spine is doing, Matthew. See how his back's nice and long? His knee stays behind his toes. It never pushes past his toes. That's exactly what you want. Stay there. That leg is straight. Okay, a couple more. His leg is nice and straight. You don't want a bent knee on this leg. It's just the other knee that's bending. That foot stays flat on the floor. It's not rolling, okay? So those are all the safety cues when you're doing a side lunge. So what you're going to do is I have you doing these for a minute, okay? You're going to do one side for a full minute. Then you're going to do the other side for a full minute. Just like that. Oh, keep that foot flat on the floor for me. There you go. Perfect. Knees behind the toes. Good. So we're going to fast forward and assume he did a minute on both sides. Good job. Anything that you do, I also want to remind you, you want to keep your core engaged. Core is used for everything, especially when you're in the mud run. So think about, pulling that belly button toward your backbone. So you've got a contraction happening. It keeps everything stable at all times. The next one that you're going to do is a squat. Now, you're going to grab those dumbbells again. Now, it is a leg workout today, but you use your shoulders an awful lot when you're in the mud run. You're pulling your body weight up with so many of the obstacles. So we're going to train the shoulders. I'm going to get them in there as much as I can. So Matthew, what you're going to do is you're going to hold those dumbbells right up at the shoulders. Now notice he's not resting the dumbbells on the shoulders. He's holding them just above the shoulders. He's going to feel this after a little bit. Core is nice and strong. Feet are about hip to shoulder width apart. No more than that. Toes pointing forward. you are going to get into a squat for me. Now, Matthew's got incredible range of motion. You can come back up. He's able to sink really low into that squat. Keep going, Matthew. You're doing so well. But what if you don't have that kind of range of motion? Well, you don't have to go that low. Can you show what people can do? There. And that even might be low for some people. So you're going to take it at the level that feels comfortable for you. What I want you to think about as you're doing it, heels are pressed strong into the floor. You're pressing through those heels as you stand up. Knees stay behind the toes. And I'm going to get you to turn sideways so they can see a side view of what your back is doing. You want to think of your butt out behind you, okay? That keeps the knees from going past those toes. Perfect. His spine is nice and long as he sinks down into that. He's not rounding his back in any way. You never want to do that. That puts too much stress on the low back, and we don't want to do that. How are those shoulders? Good. Good job. So that was round 1. The side lunges, each side, and then the squats. That's your first round. You're going to go through that round twice. Once you do that, and it's a minute, of course, for each exercise today. Once you do that, you're going to move on to round 2. Round 2 today has some hip lifts. So you can move the dumbbells out of the way for a second, and I'm just going to pull the mat in. You're going to lie on your back for me. We're focusing in on the hamstrings a little bit more. So I want you to sink down the mat just a little bit here. There. Bend the knees, bringing the feet as close toward your body as you can. Okay? Hands are going to be down by your side. Now you're going to lift your hips into a bridge, nice high bridge, and then you're going to slowly lower them down. But not all the way down. Don't touch. And bring them back up. Do you feel this in the back of the legs? Okay, good. Perfect. So that's going to be the first level of intensity, okay? If you've never done anything like this before, then this is where you're going to begin with this exercise. Take a little rest, Matthew, and I'm going to talk you through a little bit more of a challenging motion. Hands stay down. Now your one foot is still close to your body. The other leg raises up. Okay? Now give me that bridge and lower. Still lifting the hips as high as you can and lowering down. Now, do you feel that even more in the back of your leg? Yes. Hamstrings and glutes working big time here as he is showing you. So if you were to choose the option of one leg at a time, what you're going to do obviously is you're going to do about, I wouldn't even do a minute. I would do about 30 seconds on one side because this is tough, and then 30 seconds on the other. If you're doing both feet on the floor, then it's going to be a full minute. Okay? That's hard. Yes, that's what he said. It's hard. It's supposed to be hard. So was Mudrun, right? You can come up now. No more rest. You're going to grab your dumbbells. A backward lunge is the second exercise in the second round. So I'm going to have you face sideways so they can see what your body is doing as you sink back into this lunge. One leg at a time, and then we'll switch sides. Okay, so let's see what it looks like. So that brings up a good point right there. Strong core. You want to brace your core. Pull that belly button in. Good. Now, he's bringing his knee all the way down. You don't have to do, one leg at a time. Yeah, I don't want you to switch sides yet. I want you to wear out one side first. So Matthew is young. He's got a lot of flexibility. He's bringing that knee almost right to the floor. You don't have to come that low. But see what he is doing. Perfect technique. His hips are right under his shoulders. He is not, show me what would be the wrong way to do it. There, okay. See how his hips are totally out of line? I don't even want you to keep holding that. But his hips were completely out of line with his shoulders. When you're doing a backward lunge, hips should be right underneath the shoulders. Long spine, strong core. How you feeling? Tired? Okay. So you're going to do a minute on one side, a minute on the other side. And then when you're finished that, you're going to go back to your hip lifts, do a second round. You don't have to, you already did it. And then you're going to go back to backward lunges because we do all of these exercises twice. So that was round 2. Moving on to round 3. So we've got a little bit more for the legs, and then I'm including some core in here. So for the legs, that's what we're going to start with. It's a sumo squat. So I want your feet a little bit further apart for me. A little bit more. It's a wide stance. Now I want your toes turned out as much as your flexibility allows. Perfect. Okay, we're focusing on those inner thighs and the glutes with this sumo squat. So this one is different from the first squat that you did. In the first squat, remember the butt's out behind you. This one, your hips are going to be going right underneath your shoulders again because your knees are tracking over the toes. So you can rest the dumbbells on your thighs and let's see what it looks like. There. Now he is going to lean forward into it slightly. Just keep your shoulders down for me. Don't bring them up into your ears. And back up. Like I said, Matthew's got good range of motion. He's able to sink down into that pretty deep. So you don't have to go that deep if you've never done this before because you're really going to feel it on those inner thighs. So I don't want you to pull anything. Go within your range of motion and what feels comfortable. The more you do these workouts, the more flexible you're going to get, the stronger you're going to get. Okay? Perfect. Do it again. There we go. Okay. Looks good to me. You can put those down and I'm going to get you back on the mat. Okay, you're going to sit on the mat. You can face the camera here. Now you're going to sit back into a C-sit. Now I want your heels down, hip width apart, so you've got a bit of a base of support. There you go. Now this is a little different from yoga. In yoga, it's called a V-sit, where the spine is completely long. That can get a little tough on the low back. This is going to be a C-sit. Now, maybe I'm going to get you to sit sideways first so they can see what your spine's doing. So I'm going to get you to lean back slightly. Now I want his low back to have a little bit of a curve in it. It's just to protect it. But I don't want his shoulders or his chest collapsing. So that's the real key thing that you want to remember in this move. You want a bit of a